Okay, so we are going to discuss for your group, we are going to discuss chapter 7, part B. We are going to discuss with for question 3. Okay, for question 3 and onwards. I suppose for your class, kita akan sempat untuk discuss 2 soalan sahaja. Okay. Okay, so can we start dengan Ziad? Would you like to have an attempt for this question?
Okay, ma'am.
3A, please.
First, state the type of immunity conferred by the vaccine. My answer is antibody mediated immunity.
So thank you. Okay, good attempt. Ziad. Alright. Dia cakap kat sini, figure 8 shows the incidence and mortality rate of a vaccine preventable disease per 100,000 population in 2003. So dia ada data, dia ada table. So state the type of immunity conferred by the vaccine. Okay, sebenarnya kan untuk soalan ni it is taken out of your syllabus. Okay, cara vaccine trigger an immune response towards your body. The actual answer will be artificial. Okay, artificial active immunity. Tapi jawapan Ziad tu tadi boleh juga diterima sebab vaksin, okay, which is you answered humoral immune response, boleh, okay, sebab sebab the purpose of taking vaccine, one example of vaccine, it can be virus yang telah dilemahkan. Okay, specific virus yang telah dilemahkan, it is inserted into your body that will trigger your immune system. Okay, so virus yang dilemahkan tu bila dia masuk dalam badan awak, dia tak menyebabkan you all sakit yang severe, penyakit yang dibawa oleh virus yang sebenar. Okay, it is just insert into your body so that the antigen of that virus or the pathogen is in your body, so that it will activate your helper T cell, so that the helper T cell can activate the specific B cell or the T cell towards the antigen from that virus, for example. Okay, so dia akan trigger the activation of the, boleh jadi humoral immune response, so that your body produces memory B cell. Okay, memory B cell or the plasma cell, that when your body produces plasma cell, it can produce antibody, okay, towards that specific pathogen. So actively maksudnya apa? It triggers the activation of third line defense or acquired immunity to produce the specific memory cell, so that when in the future you are infected by the actual virus, kan, actual virus, awak kena virus yang sebenar masuk dalam badan awak, you already have the memory cell towards that actual virus. Okay, that is active immunity. It triggers the activation of acquired immune system. Okay, humoral dalam acquired immune system, active. Artificial sebab apa? Melalui vaksin. Bukan virus sebenar masuk and then your body react or sakit and then baru hasilkan memory cell. Okay, so this is artificial through injection of vaccine. Okay, so artificial active immunity jawapan dia. Tapi basically dia berkait lah, dia bukan totally keluar dalam syllabus awak, dia ada kaitan lagi dalam apa yang awak belajar, kan. So you have to know how the vaccine works. Okay, so it triggers actually the production of memory cell, so that in the future when you are infected by the actual virus, your body has already built up a specific defense mechanism towards that specific virus by producing the memory cell. Okay, the memory cell specific for that actual virus, okay, or actual pathogen. Okay, so boleh yang lain. Okay, thank you Ziyad. Okay, B. Nurin.
Name the substance released by the cytotoxic T cell which can form pores on the infected cell surface. My answer is perforin.
Perforin. Okay, so the function of perforins, the perforin is secreted by cytotoxic T cell. When the cytotoxic T cell binds, nampak? This is the, which one is the cytotoxic T cell? So this is the cytotoxic T cell, the T cell. Okay, the cytotoxic T cell binds with antigen presented by infected body cell or host cell. Okay, so inside the host cell, it has the antigen fragments. So the antigen fragments will bind to MHC class 1. Okay, so dia akan bentuk antigen MHC complex. Okay, complex yang ni. Okay, so the T cell receptor, kan, the T cell TCR, the T cell receptor will bind to the antigen presented using MHC presented by the infected cell. So nanti akan ada interaction, and then the cytotoxic T cell will release, one is perforin, okay, to make pores on the plasma membrane of the infected cell. So once pores has been produced, the second molecule that will be released by the cytotoxic T cell is granzyme. Okay, granzymes. So the granzyme will enter through the pores produced by perforin through the process of endocytosis. Okay, endocytosis. Okay. If you refer to your notes, it is in this slide. Okay. Mechanism that is done by the helper T cell, the cytotoxic T cell in cell mediated immune response. Okay. So number 2 saya dah bagi jawapan lah, kan. So name this type of immune response. It is cell mediated immune response. So you can write your answer there, cell mediated immune response. Okay, so number 3. Edina, would you like to have a go for question number 3? Nak cuba try?
Yes, madam. Explain how activated cytotoxic T cell is triggered to release the substance in 1. Infected cell displays antigen fragment on its surface via class 1 MHC. Activated T cytotoxic cell recognize and binds to the antigen MHC complex via T cell receptor. The activated T cytotoxic cell release perforin that form pores on the infected cell membrane.
Okay. So betul lah. So you have all the points. Cuma yang tadi tu saya tak berapa nak jelas. MHC, did you mention the specific class?
Class 1.
Class 1. Okay, class 1 MHC. So semua point dah ada. Dia nak 3 markah. Cumanya soalan tu dia sampai explain how activated cytotoxic T cell is triggered to release the substance. Okay. Point yang last sekali tu tak compulsory. Okay, so macam mana sel tu diaktifkan saja sampai dia release perforin tu. Okay. So saya boleh lah kot. Infected. Saya bagi jawapan kat sini. Infected cell display. Kalau you all nak tengok, check balik. Antigen fragment on its surface using class 1 MHC. Okay, using class 1 MHC. And then what happened next is that, boleh Sambung tulis activated cytotoxic T cell recognize the fragment. Okay, so and then bind to the complex, which is the antigen MHC complex, via TCR, via the T cell receptor. Okay, so ada tiga markah kat situ, so you can write all the points. Ini satu markah, and then yang cytotoxic binds to the antigen fragment, dapat markah lagi. Using the binding is through T cell receptor, dapat markah lagi. Okay, so thank you Irdina. Number 4, Aisyah Nadira, Nur Aisyah Nadira. Ada Nur Aisyah Nadira. Cuba tanya.
Okay.
Okay.
The lymphocyte can differentiate self-antigen from non-self-antigen. My answer, mature B anti cell can differentiate self-antigen from non-self-antigen.
Apa yang tadi, yang first tadi?
Mature B anti
Mature.
cells can
Okay.
differentiate self-antigen from non-self-antigen.
Okay.
The second point is self-antigen is found on the host cell
Okay.
and it does not trigger an immune response.
Kalau non-self?
Non-self antigen is found on foreign cell that enter the body and it trigger an immune response.
Okay. So itu yang crucial point dia. Okay. Discuss the concept of self from non-self. So kalau self antigen, it is found on host cell. Okay, host cell. Tapi kalau non-self, it is found found on foreign cell ataupun pathogen. Found on foreign cell ataupun pathogen lah. Okay, kalau self antigen, it does not trigger an immune response. Ini trigger an immune response. Okay, kalau non-self triggers an immune response. Tadi kalau jawapan yang pertama yang awak mention tadi, mature B cell and T cell will not bind to the self antigen tu, yang untuk point ni lah sebenarnya. Okay, does not trigger immune response. Trigger immune response yang tadi, yang point pertama awak tadi, it is the same point. It is the same point. Okay. And then another point that you could add into your answer, saya cakap awak boleh tulis MHC is available. Okay, MHC molecule MHC is available to differentiate self and non-self. Sebab MHC ni dia bertindak sebagai marker. Okay, marker. Right? Okay, so thank you Aisyah Nadira. Next, C, please, Nur Aisyah Humaira. C1. Cuba awak jawab soalan ni.
Identify how SCID is categorized and state the factor that causes the disease. My answer is SCID is result from genetic or development defect in the production of immune system cell.
Okay, 1 point.
SCID is caused by shortage or absence at B and T cells.
Okay, betul. Okay, dapat 2 markah kat situ. So basically you have to describe, okay, what is SCID. Identify how SCID stands for Severe Combined Immunodeficiency Disease. Daripada nama ni, awak tengok dia punya, ada dalam nama dia, Immunodeficiency. It means that your body is lacking the defense mechanism tu. Okay, why is it lacking? yang point nombor 2 awak tadi tu, which is shortage or absence of the B cell and also T cell or the lymphocytes. Okay, B cell and T cell are lymphocytes. So the lymphocyte are absent or there is a shortage. Sebab itulah immunodeficiency. Your body is lacking the immune cell tu. Okay. That is SCID. Macam mana dia boleh berlaku? Tadi genetic defects, defects during development. Okay ha. So it is inborn. Sejak dilahirkan lagi kan, inborn. Okay, inborn. Ataupun congenital immunodeficiency. Sejak lahir lagi, due to genetic defects. Okay ha. At birth, since birth ha. So boleh juga jadi point dia kan. Okay. Deficiency ataupun lack lymphocyte. B and T cell. Okay. So thank you Aisyah Humaira. Number 2. Aina Nazura.
Madam, can I ask questions before I answer the question?
Kita try.
Untuk soalan nombor C2 tu, dia nak another category of immunodeficiency disease ke nak other than kan yang immune tu kan ada dua, satu inborn, satu lagi acquired kan. Dia nak selain yang tu ke nak selain daripada yang tu?
Boleh je, mana-mana boleh. Mana-mana.
Mana-mana?
Tadi awak cakap apa yang first tadi?
Acquired immunodeficiency.
Acquired. Okay, acquired immunodeficiency ataupun AIDS, which is caused by the virus HIV. Virus dia HIV, penyakit dia AIDS. Okay, so the virus will destroy helper T cell. Kan, kalau awak tengok dalam awak punya nota ni dekat bahagian sini. Okay. So saya faham tadi awak punya soalan kan, immunodeficiency dia ada dua. Satu inborn daripada lahir lagi, satu lagi acquired immunodeficiency. It means that later on in life, orang lain may get the disease, the acquired immunodeficiency develop later because the person is exposed to certain chemicals or biological agent. Okay. Such as cancer, drugs to fight autoimmune disease, or drugs to prevent transplant rejection. Okay. So kalau kita tengok kat awak punya nota ni, okay, drugs to fight, drugs to fight autoimmunodeficiency. Autoimmunodeficiency ni where is a condition or a disease where your immune cell terlebih aktif pula kan, such as the antibodies produced by your cell, it attacks your joints kan, that leads to rheumatoid arthritis. So akan macam contohnya akan ada sejenis drugs yang untuk suppress this immune cell, cuma dia suppress terlebih, that leads to immunodeficiency. Kekurangan pula kan, tadi terlebih asalnya, cuma bila dah ambil ubat tu jadi immunodeficiency pula. Okay. And then drugs to prevent transplant rejection kan, sebab transplant organ are considered foreign, so the patient is given drugs so that the body of the recipient will not reject the transplanted organ, tapi they could lead to autoimmune disease. Okay. And then another example is this disease lah, AIDS, which is caused by the virus HIV that attacks helper T cell. So when helper T cell is attacked, okay, so kita tahu the helper T cell, when it is activated, it produces a signaling molecule which is cytokines. So the cytokines produced by helper T cell is used to activate B and cytotoxic T cell. Kalau the helper T cell destroyed, macam mana B and T cell will be activated? Kalau tak boleh nak activate, macam mana humoral immune response and also cell mediated immune response will be activated? Cannot. So the person can easily get infections. Yeah, so get infections sebab the body is lacking the immune cell, the immune defense. Okay, due to the virus destroys the helper T cell. That is AIDS. Okay. Okay, so jawapan awak tadi awak boleh bagi AIDS ataupun dia kata tak semestinya dalam kategori immunodeficiency Dia kata category of immune disease. Walaupun dia punya soalan asal dia, induk dia cerita pasal immunodeficiency, tapi soalan anak ni dia just generalize. Okay, immunodeficiency. So you can give AIDS ataupun you can also give macam contohnya autoimmune disease. Okay, autoimmune disease ataupun specific autoimmune disease macam contohnya yang saya mention tadi, rheumatoid arthritis ataupun lupus. Lupus is when your immune cell attacks your body cell, your organs. Yeah, that is lupus. Ataupun multiple sclerosis, which is also a type of autoimmune disease. Okay, multiple sclerosis is when your immune cell attacks the myelin sheath of axon of a neuron. Okay, of neuron. So tak boleh nak transfer impulse properly. Okay. So that is multiple sclerosis ataupun insulin dependent diabetes kan. So insulin dependent diabetes where your immune system attacks the cell producing insulin kan. So the person cannot produce insulin. Okay, so that's why it can lead to diabetes, insulin dependent diabetes. Okay, ataupun another immune disease kita boleh bagi contoh juga sebab dia considered as imbalance. Okay, imbalance in your immune system, which is allergy. Okay, allergic reaction, allergy. So allergy ni bukan pada semua orang, macam contohnya molecule we call it as allergen. Okay, allergen macam pollen, certain foods. It triggers your immune system to be hypersensitive. Okay, hypersensitive. So pollen tu, let's say for the first time you are exposed to the pollen, or for the first time you are exposed to the certain foods, it does not trigger your allergic reaction, tapi subsequent exposure of the allergen, it can lead to allergic reaction. Dengan cara apa? Nanti kita akan tengok mekanisme dia. Nanti hari tu kita dah belajarkan pasal mast cell kan? Mast cell. Okay, so mast cell ni dia akan store histamine. Okay, dia akan store histamine. So the allergen will trigger excessive secretion of histamine by the mast cell. So dia akan lead to excessive vasodilation. So more blood flows to that specific areas kan. So dia akan create hypersensitivity kat situ. That is allergic reaction. Apa pun awak boleh letak kat sini. Okay. So boleh letak AIDS, or boleh letak autoimmune disease or any examples of autoimmune disease ataupun allergic reaction. So pun boleh juga diterima. Okay, so thank you. Tadi Aina Nazura. So next, Nur Ainadira D.
How would a macrophage deficiency likely affect a person's innate defense? My answer is through phagocytosis and sterilization of foreign substances.
Through phagocytosis? Apa tengok soalan dia? Macrophage deficiency. Kenapa awak jawab through phagocytosis tadi? Through phagocytosis, cuba ulang balik tadi.
Through phagocytosis and sterilization of foreign substances.
Sterilization? Mana awak dapat jawapan ini? Awak ada Google ke macam mana? Tak apa, just be honest. What makes you so make sure awak fahamkan soalan tu. Kalau awak main Google je without understanding, so dia akan jadi jawapan tu off the track. Okay, so how would a macrophage deficiency? Apa yang awak faham daripada statement ayat ni? Macrophage deficiency. macrophage deficiency. What is deficiency? Ini soalan applied. Kita dah belajar dah ni sebenarnya. Kita dah cover dah. Apa maksud deficiency?
Kurang.
Kurang.
Something yang lack.
Kan? Kekurangan makrofage dalam badan awak, apa kesan dia? Kan? Awak faham ke soalan? Apa kesan dia terhadap innate defense? Innate defense kita ada dua kan? Apa dia? First line defense dengan second line defense. Kalau macrophage, first line ke second line? Second line ataupun internal defense kan? So apa jadi dekat internal defense awak? Kalau macrophage kekurangan dalam badan, can lead to poor innate, straightforward je, poor innate response. Okay, response. Ataupun innate immunity is not functioning. Okay, poor lah. So and then kenapa disebabkan oleh reduce due to the lacking of macrophage, dia akan menyebabkan ataupun lead kepada reduced phagocytosis. Kan, reduced phagocytosis, or the macrophage cannot engulf pathogen. Okay, reduce phagocytosis, or not able to engulf pathogen. Okay, pathogen. Alright, so that is the effects of macrophage deficiency towards your innate defense. Okay, which is specifically the second line defense or internal defense. Ingat ya, internal defense dia ada 4. Satu adalah phagocytes. Okay, example of phagocyte is macrophage. Okay, macrophage. And then kita ada NK, natural killer cell. Lepas tu kita ada antimicrobial protein. Okay, contoh antimicrobial protein adalah interferons and also complement system. Tolong check balik kalau awak lupa apa yang saya cakap ni. And then yang keempat adalah inflammatory response. Okay, inflammatory response salah satu dia, contoh dia adalah systemic. Okay, systemic inflammatory response, which is fever. Okay. Kenapa kita panggil sebagai inflammatory response? Because it produces heat. Kan? So when you are injured at certain area, you have wound, for example, so it causes the mast cell to release histamine. So the histamine causes vasodilation. So when blood vessels dilate, it brings more blood to the infected area. So when more blood flows to that infected area, it also brings metabolic heat. So that's why dekat kawasan yang injured tu dia akan rasa a bit warm, and also ada pain. Kan, akan ada kesakitan lah, pain kan. Sebab apa? When vasodilation occurs, it increases the permeability of the blood vessels, so that the blood from your the fluid from your blood or water will flow out into your tissue. Kan, so it causes swelling or edema. Okay, so this presses the nerve ending. So sebab tu dia akan rasa sakit, warm, and pain also. That is inflammatory response. Okay, so tengok balik kalau awak if you forget the mechanism, please do your revision. Okay, so thank you Ain. Number 4, Nik Nufara. Ini pun kita dah cover.
State 2, characteristic of acquired immunity. First, antibody specificity and can differentiate between self cell and non-self cell.
Self and non-self. Lagi satu yang last point apa?
Antibody specificity.
Antibody specificity. So it means that the acquired immunity would trigger specific pathogen. It works specifically in that in defending against specific pathogen. Okay, so characteristics of acquired immunity dalam open lecture yang ada 4 dan juga ada tambahan lain. Okay, so yang obvious tadi apa? Acquired immunity saya akan ulang balik. Okay, you can write down. Able to distinguish self from non-self antigen that is acquired. Okay, your body cannot attack self-antigen, only the non-self from the foreign substance that enter into your body, foreign molecule or foreign pathogen that enters into your body. And then second, the acquired immunity detects antigen never before encountered. Okay, any virus that first time enters into your body, it triggers the activation of your acquired immunity. Okay, and then for the virus that enters for the first time, so the response is slower lah kan, slower response for the first virus, okay, that enters into your body, virus yang baru, okay, ataupun pathogen yang baru. So slower response compared to innate immunity. Innate immunity lebih cepat lah kan, rapid, sebab contohnya skin, your skin is already there. Okay, and then rapid response, yang ke point yang seterusnya, rapid response to antigen encountered previously. Sebab apa? Dah hasilnya memory cell. And then dia akan juga melibatkan apa? Cell proliferation. Okay, cell proliferation increases the number of B cell and also T cell. So once B cell and T cell is activated due to the presence of the pathogen in your body, so it causes the B cell and T cell to be activated and proliferate even more. Okay, proliferate even more. And then another characteristics that you can also include adalah it is found in vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates. And then the next point, specific defense system, specific for certain antigen. Okay, so it triggers the activation of your immune system against specific pathogen. Kena ada perkataan specific tu. Okay, kalau innate, non-specific. Okay, and then kalau acquired consists of humoral immune response and also cell-mediated immune response or third line defense. Okay, and then it is activated after innate immunity takes place. So you have all those points to include. So dia nak 2 je. So any of the point that I've mentioned. Okay. Ataupun dalam nota ni, yang senang, awak tengok kat sini je lah. Yang slide ni. Okay, this slide here. This slide and also this slide. This and here. Okay, sorry, here. Okay. Okay, so next B1, Nakib.
Describe the above process. My answer is activation of P due to the invasion of pathogen aided by helper T cell.
Activation of P due to exposure of pathogen. Okay, P ni sel apa? What is P?
B cell.
B cell. Kalau O sel apa?
Antigen presenting compact cell.
If you look at this diagram, okay, describe the above process. This is a macrophage. Okay, a macrophage. So macrophage, when it encounters a certain pathogen, it will engulf. Okay, engulf and then degrade the pathogen into antigen fragments. Okay, bila dah degrade into antigen fragments, baru antigen tu akan bind kepada MHC class 2 and then presented on the surface of the of the macrophage. So yang ini baru dia akan jadi APC. So terus aku pergi ke APC tadi, betul lah. Okay, APC. So APC present the antigen fragment to T cell kepada helper T cell. So basically, describe the above process. It is the activation of helper T cell. Okay, activation of helper T cell yang pertama awak boleh letak kan, describe the above process. Satu markah je soalan ni. Okay, itu yang paling obvious lah, activation of helper T cell. Ataupun bila awak tengok tadi awak dah cakap kan, yang P ni adalah B cell. If you write this is a humoral immune response pun boleh juga. Okay, humoral immune response. This is a humoral immune response or antibody mediated immune response. It is also accepted. Okay, and then another point that you can write, because it involves B cell. Okay, so it occurs in your body fluid. Okay, such as blood or lymph or interstitial fluid. Okay, so helper T cell that binds with the specific B cell ni, it triggers what? It triggers the activation of B cell. Activation of B cell leads to apa? Clonal selection. Kan, clonal selection that produces memory and also effector B cell. So it activates. Okay, it activates clonal selection. Activation of B cell and clonal selection of the B cell. Okay, and then another point that you can include in your answer. Adalah the release of cytokine lah kan, the release of cytokines. So APC ni will release cytokines. The cytokine activates helper T cell. Helper T cell will also release cytokines. Okay, that activates the B cell. So ada banyak point yang boleh letak kat situ lah. So helper T cell activated tadi yang point pertama, awak boleh cakap dia boleh proliferate, can become more, can proliferate or divide, become activated. So those are the point that you can include in your answer. Ada banyak lah point kat situ. Cuma dia nak satu je. Okay, dia nak satu je. One of the point that I've mentioned, you can consider as correct lah. Tadi jawapan awak pun tadi diterima juga. Okay. So thank you Nakib. Kalau tak faham boleh tanya Number 2. Haziq.
Why do O and P have different pathways for antigen processing although the same antigen is identified? Because O engulf and digest pathogen while P binds directly to the pathogens via receptors.
Okay, betul lah. Okay, so betul. So O ni dia engulf kan. So O is macrophage. So it engulfs the pathogen. Okay, engulfs the pathogen. Tapi kalau P, dia binds specifically to epitope of the of antigen of a pathogen. It binds specifically. Kalau O dia jumpa je pathogen, dia akan engulf. Tapi kalau cell B cell ni, it has to find specific epitope of antigen of a pathogen. So itu one difference. Okay. And then kalau O macrophage, another difference that you can put there. Sebab soalan dia suruh. Kan. So kalau O ni engulf through the process of what? Phagocytosis. Kalau macrophage through phagocytosis. Tapi kalau B ni dia boleh juga internalize the pathogen tapi through the process of receptor mediated endocytosis. Okay, that is another point that you can include in your answer. Perbezaan antara macam mana O dengan P ni works. Okay, so internalize O through phagocytosis, tapi kalau B through receptor mediated endocytosis. Kalau O ni, macrophage ni, okay, macrophage is recognized by non-activated helper T cell. Helper T cell ni dia roam dalam keadaan tak aktif. Okay, and then when it binds to the antigen presented by APC, baru dia akan deaktifkan. Okay, so macrophage is recognized by non-activated helper T cell. And then kalau B cell, it is recognized by activated. Dah diaktifkan baru dia boleh bind kepada B cell ni. Okay, so B cell is recognized by activated helper T cell. Okay, so kita habiskan soalan ni. So ini kita dah. Thank you tadi Haziq. Number 3. Fahrul.
Number 3. What are the effects on P when activated helper T cell releases Q? My answer is Q is cytokines.
Okay, betul.
T helper cell releases Q to activate P, which is B cell that has interacted with foreign antigen. B cell then divides to produce B cell then undergo clonal selection to produce activated B cell and clonal B cell.
Bukan clonal, memory.
Memory B cell.
Okay, bagus. Bagus jawapan awak, good attempt. Okay. So jawapan awak dapat 2 markah kat situ kan. So what are the effects of P? Ini awak terus lah kan. P ni adalah B cell. Okay, when activated helper T cell releases Q is cytokines. Okay, so cytokines. So Q ni cytokines activate B cell. Okay, Q cytokines activate B cell, 1 markah. Okay, and then once P cell ataupun B cell ni activated, it then proliferate. Perkataan proliferate kena letak proliferate tu it divides many times and then differentiate. Proliferate and differentiate ataupun boleh slashkan dengan it undergoes clonal selection. Okay, clonal selection ataupun differentiate. Okay, so B cell when it is activated it proliferate and differentiate into what? Into yang point yang last tadi, into effector cell, effector B cell. Effector B cell, nama lain dia juga adalah plasma cell. Plasma cell adalah sel yang akan secrete antibody. Okay. So another cell produced adalah memory cell. Okay, bila dah activate, dia akan jadi, sebab tu ada perkataan differentiate tu, differentiate into effector and also memory. Sama juga apply kepada cytotoxic T cell ataupun helper T cell. Bila activate, dia akan jadi effector and memory. Okay, effector akan bertindak pada masa infection. Memory simpan dalam lymph nodes for future infection by the same pathogen. Okay. So, thank you tadi Fahrul. Number 4. Julia.
One of the cells that arise from P has a short lifespan. It will secrete proteins that are able to interfere with pathogen activity. Explain the interaction of this protein with the complement system. The interaction of protein will cause antigens to be displayed to helper T cell. This will then triggers the dendritic cells to leave the epithelial lining to the lymph nodes where specific T cells are activated.
Awak dapat jawapan kat mana? Julia.
Dekat lecture notes.
Kat mana?
Lecture notes.
Lecture notes. Okay. Okay, awak tengok dekat soalan ni keywords yang awak kena look out. One of the cells that arises from P cell has a short lifespan. Short lifespan it is referring to the effector cell ataupun the plasma cell. Plasma cell yang akan menghasilkan, akan secrete antibody. Okay, it will secrete protein. This protein is referring to antibody. Okay, so that are able to interfere with pathogen activity. Saya dah bagi tahu masa lecture kemarin yang antibody it does not directly destroy the pathogen, but it will somehow disrupt the pathogen activity. Okay, interfere with the pathogen activity. Dia tak boleh nak terus sebab dia adalah protein molecule, it cannot engulf and then destroy. Dia tak ada enzyme. Okay. Antibody ni, it is a molecule that binds to a pathogen. So, macam mana cara dia untuk menghapuskan pathogen ni? Cara dia adalah salah satunya adalah the antibody will bind to antigen, okay, on the surface of a pathogen. So, pathogen dekat surface dia akan ada antigen kan? So, antibody akan bind. Okay, so the antibody when it binds to the antigen of a virus, dia akan trigger the activation of complement system. Kita dah belajar pasal complement system ni kan masa innate immunity, second line kan. So complement system is a group of protein that circulate in your body fluid dalam keadaan inactive. So bila ada interaction antara antigen and also antibody, dia akan trigger complement system to be activated. Okay, complement system is a group of protein. So when this protein is activated, it causes the protein to be embedded in the plasma membrane of the virus or pathogen, forming pores. Okay, forming pores. So the pores produced on the plasma membrane of the virus causes water and also ion to enter into the virus or pathogen and causes the pathogen to swell, kembang, and then burst ataupun lyse. Okay, so that is one of the way of how antibody works. Okay, so dia ada a few more cara yang kita akan belajar nanti. Okay, so thank you Julia. So kita habiskan soalan 4 ni boleh ke? Lagi dulu lagi. Okay. Intan Sharafina.
Figure 11 shows blood agglutination in blood type A recipient that receives blood from blood type B donor. How can hemolysis lead to death in the recipient? My answer is the antibodies in the donor blood, which is blood type B, will resonate with the recipient's red blood cell as foreign substances. Thus, hemolysis will occur to destroy the actual recipient's blood cells.
Okay.
This will lead to lack of RBC in the recipient's blood because the immune system attacks and destroys the RBC faster than the bone marrow can make a new one. Thus, less oxygen will be delivered to recipient's organ and cells and eventually leads to death.
Okay. Bolehlah dapat markah untuk the rupture of hemoglobin tu. Okay. Cumanya to be specific, you have to describe what happened. Hemolysis ni, red blood cell lyse, pecah. Apa yang ada dalam red blood cells? You have hemoglobin. So when hemoglobin is released into your body fluid, okay, in your bloodstream, the hemoglobin will be converted into another molecule. We call it as bilirubin. Saya tahu ini tak dalam nota awak. Just you can take note. Okay, hemoglobin when it is released into your bloodstream, it is converted into bilirubin. So bilirubin when it is inside your body fluid, it can cause organ damage. Okay, it can cause organ damage and also clogged blood vessels. Itu effects dia. Okay, so you can add into your answer lah. Okay, so thank you tadi Intan Sharafina. Last question, Amirah Nadira.
Give one reason why the airways become narrower when a person has an asthma attack. Because the tissue lining the airways will swell due to inflammation and mucus secretion.
Okay, boleh dapat kan. So swelling tu boleh dapat markah kan. Kenapa boleh berlaku swelling tu? Macam saya cakap tadi kan, ini adalah contoh. Saya tahu kita belajar lagi. Ini adalah contoh allergic reaction. Okay, allergic reaction. So allergic reaction disebabkan oleh excessive secretion of histamine by the mast cell. Histamine bila dia release excessively, dia akan lead to vasodilation. Okay, vasodilation. So blood vessels dilate or vasodilation due to the release of histamine. Okay, dua point kat situ boleh letak. And then bila berlaku vasodilation, apa akan jadi? More fluid akan diffuse into your tissue fluid, causing apa? Swelling, kan? So muscle becomes swollen or smooth muscle constrict, and then this causes the airways to be inflamed. Okay, the lining of the airways to be inflamed. Okay, so betul dah jawapan awak tu tadi. Cuma awak kena relate kan, sebab dia adalah allergic reaction, you have to mention the release of histamine that causes vasodilation. Okay, and causes muscle to be swollen. Okay, so thank you pada yang dah menjawab. So kita stop dulu sampai sini. Okay, so saya harap next time, okay, mana yang datang lambat, masuk lambat ni, please make sure you are on time. Okay, so tadi kita lambat start 10 minit. Okay, so make sure next time you are on time. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask. If not, we can